Hey everybody, I'm Ppotdot1 and I'm going to be playing Wizards and Warriors 3, Kuros, Visions of Power for NES block. Yes, that is the full title. This game is pretty humorous in a lot of ways. It picks up right at the end of Iron Sword, as you can see here, for Wizards and Warriors 2. But we're going to get right into it. In terms of the storyline, Kuros is going to a town and he's got to stop Malkill. So let's just do it. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so a little bit different in this game. It's a little bit more, it's got a couple of RNG-ish or RPG-ish type elements here. We got to collect some money in order to enter some of the doors in the game. We have to buy keys. So we're coming over to our first innkeeper here. We're going to come back and see this guy a little bit later, but we just have to buy a couple keys from him right now. We need to be able to rescue all 3 of the princesses in this town in order to get their jewelry. We're gonna promise to marry them and then steal their jewelry in order to get to Malkill. We have to be able to enter a secret exit in the basement of the town. But first, we're gonna get to become a thief here. So we got the bronze statue over on the left-hand side. We need 2 keys to get into the room with the bronze statue, and then we have to go through the thief's trials in order to actually become a thief here. So, a couple auto-scrollers in here. First of, I believe, 5 that we're going to be doing, if I remember that correctly. Well, 3 that are true auto-scrollers, 2 that are kind of like just a platforming section that you have specific cycles that you're on. Am I too close here? No, I'm right in the right range. So we're just gonna wiggle our sword back and forth here to get this statue to lean back a bunch of times and beat the bronze statue. And we have successfully proven ourselves to the Thieves Guild. They give us some clothes, they give us a little dagger here, and that lets us become a thief. Thieves in this game run a little bit quicker than the knights do, so we get a little bit better horizontal speed for each level of thief that we are. Spoilers, we're gonna become a couple more levels of thief in just a little bit here. Get in the door. So now we do some platforming in here to get to our first little extra mini-boss. This guy, this demon guy, is guarding the second statue for the Thieves Guilds, the silver statue. We do not need to get every statue in the game, fortunately. We can skip by several of them. But we do need all 3 Thieves statues. Just because they, the second level and the third level let us enter windows, break into people's homes, and then give us a skeleton key so we can get into every room in the game. Don't push that guy off the edge, very important. And then we're gonna do our first little trick here. There's a beehive skip that we just did there. Normally we would have to be Wizard 1, who can shoot fireballs to destroy the beehive on the side there. And we despawn this guardian here to get by that section. We'll see both the beehive and the guardian there that we skipped in a little bit, just to showcase that, yes, they actually do exist. We just don't need to see them because we have some manipulation for the screen scrolls and enemy spawns to make sure that they don't get on screen there. Yeah, we're in our second little auto-scroller here. This is the Thieves Guild 2. Each of the guilds is progressively a little bit harder. Not necessarily in terms of the platforming for the auto-scroller stuff, but in terms of the actual fight at the end. Just do a little feet shuffle here. The silver fight is a bit harder. We can't just wiggle him in place like we could with the bronze. See if we can get the setup here right. Not quite in the right spot here. A little bit of tricky position. Should be enough. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that's silver. We will have to fight the gold statue as well, which has more HP. It's the same pattern as silver, but has more HP, so you're kind of in a little bit more of a damage race. Have to make sure that you're doing everything the right way. And now we're the second level of the thief. We have a crowbar, so now we can enter windows, break into people's houses that way. We're going to come all the way to the left-hand side here to get to this demon enemy. And the crowbar has the tiniest hitbox of all time. I'm not exaggerating. It's like you have to be almost literally on top of the enemy for it to deal damage. It's a little bit ridiculous. Just get by here. We're going to wait for him to jump again because it has a slightly longer hitbox from the left-hand side for whatever reason. But get past the demon there and get our gold statue. And now we'll make sure that we don't push any enemies off of the edges of any platforms because that counts as killing them. Very important that we don't kill any enemies on this first screen because otherwise the Guardian despawn does not work. Do our beehive despawn again one more time. And we're going to find our first princess here, Julia here. We're going to promise to marry her. She's going to give us a jewel. And then we're going to get out of here. And we'll never see her again. There's the beehive on the left-hand side. And we're going to climb up here, get the manipulation to have that dog spawn on the left-hand side, which lets this Guardian despawn so we can get right into this area. Needs Guild 3. Each of the auto-scrollers is an attempt to be a little bit harder. There's more projectiles that come at you from the bottom of the screen, from the left-hand side of the screen. As long as you know where everything is at, you should not get knocked off. But if you fail the auto-scroller, it kicks you out of the guild and you have to restart it. So we're going to try to not get owned. A little bit of wiggles there. And then we'll just scoot right off screen. There he is. Just a couple of little quirks with the movement. Okay, got him lean back at the start, so we got a couple extra hits there. Good. This'll work. Didn't get the 3 lean backs, but this should be good on the damage. Yeah, we're fine. Excellent. Yeah, the Gold Thief statue is the one that's it's the hardest execution-wise to make sure that you get all the right lean back so he doesn't attack into you. Because they try to dodge out of the way, so you have to kind of mash into an attack that wouldn't hit them if you would normally. There's the Guardian that we would despawn. I need to come down here. And we're gonna enter this window. We're gonna jump up here, and we're gonna re-enter this door, and now we're in the castle. We're supposed to climb up a couple of screens to get into the castle, but there's a shortcut down below. For whatever reason, you just re-enter the door and it lets you in. So nice little shortcut there. Don't get kicked, please. All the enemies on this screen will attack you if you are not a knight, or in the palace section, I should say. So we're gonna try to not get kicked around as much as we can here. But we're climbing all the way to the top. Normally, you're supposed to get you're supposed to re-enter each area as you collect each of the different upgrades, like the Thief 2, the Knight level 2, Wizard level 2. That lets you progress to more areas of each section. But there's some stuff we can do to just skip by basically all of it. We only really need Thief level 3 and his extremely fast horizontal speed to jump all the way over here. Which lets us get to the second princess immediately. This is Joanne. And we're going to promise to marry her, so we have 2 promises that we've made so far. Steal her money and just leave. And we'll never see her again either. And now that we're completely done with the palace, we're just going to fall all the way down past the section where you have to fall back into the town section. Make sure that I should have gone left there. It's fine. Fall down, touch a couple of these platforms so that we don't take fall damage. This guy doesn't let you buy unless you are a thief. So this is like this intended second area for you to go to, which is the dungeon. And in the dungeon, we're gonna get the wizard statue. So we have bronze and gold wizard statues that we need. The wizards all have their own like ability that they can use. Wizard 1 and 3 are the only ones that are required in order to beat the game overall. No, don't miss this jump. Thank you. Wizard 1 lets you shoot fireballs. Wizard 3 lets you levitate. And levitate is actually the thing that is the most important for beating the final boss. I'm not going to give any spoilers right away, but we're going to blow up the Burger King. So don't fall all the way down, please. Okay, it's fine. The platforming here is a little bit awkward. It always makes you swap back to the knight, which is like neutral for your horizontal speed and your vertical speed. But the platforms are a little bit funky in how they like let you land on them and how they like how you can jump off of them. They're sometimes you have to like do coyote jumps in order to effectively jump from one to another. And these platforms are a little wider than the ones we'll see in the third wizard section, but still a little bit on the trickier side. That was a jump that ate my horizontal speed because I didn't coyote jump properly. There we go. And then we get up to the bronze wizard fight. And the only thing that we're hoping for is that he doesn't both push us and fire a tadpole at the same time. That would knock us off the edge. Otherwise, we can just stand here and slash at him. All right, and now for the trick that is supposed to be consistent but is not consistent. This is super fun. We're gonna try to skip by the little guardian underneath us that we would normally need knight for. By doing a fairly precise setup here, and of course, you have to have, like, things have to work just the right way in order for you to clip past this section. There we go. Clip into the wall and skip by the guardian, the little like flashing light guy there that would normally have to have knight to get by. So that was a discovery. I think by Jackie is who it was that had that discovery, so that you skip by there. Lets you avoid another like little mini auto-scroller section. So thank you, Jackie, for that. And we have our worm fight here. We actually have to fight two worms because this is the gold room. You could get the silver statue if you wanted to, but you don't need the silver statue for this run. The silver wizard lets you progress through force fields, and there's no force fields that are required to beat the game. So not important at all. Just gonna wail on this worm. The second worm usually comes out of the same hole that he enters initially the first time, so there we go. Okay. Despawn the money, swap back to Thief so we can run faster. And we're in the very bottom of the dungeon here. Oops. So, like, in order to get all the way to the left-hand side that we need to be, you're supposed to, like, climb up and then to the left and go all the way around. But they conveniently added these secret tunnels through the mountain at the bottom of every one of these screens. So you can just go straight from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And enter the third wizard guild. You have to have Thief 3 to enter this room, and then he tells you you're not a wizard. You need to leave immediately. So you enter the room as Thief 3. He kicks you out. You swap to Wizard 1, and you transform back into a knight in order to do his trial. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that, other than they just wanted to make sure that you had everything, I guess. And then we have our second platforming trial here. These are much smaller platforms. The only difference between the Wizard 2 trial and the Wizard 3 trial is there's an SMB2 enemy halfway up the screen. I will point him out once we get there. And we're a little bit low on HP, but it shouldn't matter at all for the rest of the run. The last two bosses are not going to deal damage to us. So as long as we can actually platform on this screen, then we'll be fine. All right. Land on this one, land on that one. All right, there's the SMB2 enemy. Get out of here. All right, we coyote jumped successfully there, so 2 more jumps. Don't push us off, please. There we go. We're in the right spot. Just stab him down. All right. So now we get to the 3rd level of the wizard. Conveniently, if we needed it, that also gives us the 2nd level of the wizard, but we don't need it. So silver is literally not required in any capacity. The wizards can jump really high. That's their big thing. They move horizontally a lot slower, but they have progressively higher and higher jump heights, where thieves don't jump quite as high overall. We're going to climb up here. We're going to enter this door. We're going to re-enter this door, and now we're in a different spot, which is nice because it lets us get right over to the 3rd princess. You just have to levitate up here. This is one of the important required uses of levitate. Enter the door with our skeleton key. And this is Lindsay. Hello, Lindsay. Yes, I promise to marry you. Thank you for your jewelry. I'll see you at the wedding, which will be never. Go ahead and fight amongst your sisters. And then we're going to come down to the bottom level of the basements. And we do need 1 more jewel in order to access the final section of the run. And the princess that's guarding it is a giant dragon. So we're going to promise to marry the dragon in order to get its jewelry by shooting it with fireballs a bunch of times. So dragon's up here, we just have to levitate up. And what we're hoping for is that the dragon is nice and does not knock us off the edge here. It deals no damage to us, it's just really inconvenient for time loss. If you get hit by a fireball, just make sure that you continue to hold the B button, because otherwise you will probably clip through the platform below you. It's very odd platform physics in this section in particular. 2 more hits. All right, dragon's exploding. Perfect. Thank you for your jewelry. All right, and then very important that we fire those 4 fireballs there. That sets up a glitch that lets us destroy the Burger King by levitating at him. It's very, very important. The final boss would ordinarily be a insane fight that is basically impossible. I've seen 2 people complete it, maybe, ever. And with that little setup there, it just lets us completely destroy him. And then we have our section here where it's climbing back up through the bottom of, like it's a secret exit from the bottom all the way to the top of the castle in order to rescue the king and fight Malkill at the top. Make sure I always forget this screen exists. Terex, where were you to tell me where the screen was? Yeah, just reclimbing all 3 sections of the world, the dungeon, into this is what a like an indoors room would look like in the town. It's a little bit different color palette, but otherwise it's the same layout of things. Yeah. Climbing all the way up. 1 more room here. Levitate about here. And there's going to be three more screens of movement in here before we get up to the final section. This is a jump that you have to have levitate for. Yeah, just a little bit more convenient to stay on Wizard 3 the whole time because it's all vertical as opposed to horizontal. We have our jump section here on the right-hand side, trying to optimize our landings as much as we can. The jumps in this game are a little bit different than they are in Wizards and Warriors 2 and 3. From here, or 1 and 2. So if you're used to how those jumps work, it's a little bit different for the timing on jump and release. All right, we didn't fall down there. That's good.
Just like pajama wizard?
Maybe. So we entered this room. We swapped a thief, not because that room's actually not locked by skeleton key. It's just faster to run into here with the thief. Just because it's an auto-scroller section, sort of.
This is a real Nintendo game.
Yes.
You can't beat the Burger King.
Make sure that you say no. Make sure that you say no. He T-poses on us. We levitate at him. And then he explodes, and that's time. And then epilepsy warning for anyone who's watching right now, because this is a bunch of flashing lights all spiraling together. Malkill explodes into a portal. He disappears into time. And we actually jump into his time portal and fall through time to 2121 in order to save the world in the future. That's why we don't see any of the princesses again, because we're extremely far in the future. But yeah, that was Wizards and Warriors 3. Thanks for watching.